very good evening to all the aspirants. My name is Sumeet and today as usual we'll start a session on current affairs. This week's current affairs is of utmost importance because we are taking a bit of deviation in this particular session, and that is only because of the fact that this week a lot many Nobel Prizes have been announced. So this week's session is purely dedicated to the Nobel Prizes that have been awarded in this week. So let us deep dive into the subject and understand each and every topic from purely government exams perspective. Before revealing the winners of this year's Nobel Prize, please understand, let us first understand what Nobel Prizes are. Please understand, this Nobel Prizes are given in the memory of Alfred Nobel. Alfred Nobel. This gentleman over here has at least somewhere around 350 plus patents in his name, and prime among those patents is about his invention of dynamite. Now this dynamite invention has led to the discovery or invention of bombs. And this individual, this scientist over here, Mr. Alfred Nobel, it is said that he has made a lot of fortune for himself by the sale of these bombs which are made out of dynamite. Now there is a kind of a remorse. He felt a very deep remorse, and that remorse is more due to the fact that these bombs were used by many countries and many political groups to destroy the human life, and this led to his remorse. And in order to reduce his sins by the discovery of bombs, he has instituted these Nobel Prizes. These Nobel Prizes, I mean, the amount or the monetary benefit which he has gained by the sale of these bombs will be now used to give away the awards which are known as Nobel Prizes. It is kind of a moment of truth for Alfred Nobel, right? There was a remorse, so he underwent a deep philosophical change in his ideas, and in order to wash off the sins of his discovery of bombs, he had that vision to have a Nobel Prizes to be given away to many individuals, specifically in the field of physics, chemistry, physiology, or medicine, literature, and in efforts of peace. These were the original streams or disciplines for which these Nobel Prizes were said to be awarded. But however, in the 60s, there was an addition of another discipline which is called as economic sciences. And those individuals who have performed in this particular discipline will be awarded a Nobel Prize for the field of economic sciences. Now please understand, this economic science, this prize is known as Severages Risbank Award. Please understand, this particular word, it is nothing but, it is the name of Central Bank of Sweden. The country of Sweden. This country of Sweden, the central bank, it naturally gives away these awards. This you'll have to understand, right? So this is briefly about what Nobel Prizes are. Now it is also considered world over that the winners of these awards are highly prestigious. These awards are highly prestigious awards, right? And those winners, the winners of these awards are known as laureates. It is one of the most coveted prizes world over, right? It is one of the most coveted prizes world over, right? So many of the times, specifically the Nobel Peace Prize has come under a lot of criticism. Why? Because many academics as well as experts, analysts have pointed the fact that these peace awards, Nobel Peace Awards, have also been given to individuals who are not fit to receive those prizes. Say, for example, Henry Kissinger. I mean, this particular gentleman, it is said that he presided over Vietnam War, USA's Vietnam War. Now, how experts say that? How is it possible for someone who has presided over the Vietnam War, who is involved himself in the war, act of war itself, can be awarded this Nobel Peace Prize? Not only Henry Kissinger, but also there are some other individuals like Barack Obama. Many people feel that this individual is responsible for the loss of innocent lives, especially in the Middle East as well as Afghanistan, where his drone bombing, aerial bombings has caused not only the loss of not only the loss of terrorists, but also a lot of innocent individual lives have been sacrificed for this particular act. Right? So this is what the criticism is about. Right? I hope all the points about these Nobel Prizes have been understood by you. Now, since you've understood the topic, let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about Nobels for medicine, or say, for example, physiology. It is also called as Nobel for medicine and physiology. This year's Nobels for medicine has been given to a trio. The trio, especially Mary Birknow. Shimon Sakaguchi. And Frederick Ramsdell. These are this year's winners of Nobel Prize for Medicine. Now, why have they been awarded? Please understand, their work was related to autoimmune diseases. They have found that there is a presence of special regulatory T cells or Treg cells. Please understand. When I use the word autoimmune disease, what do you understand by that? Please understand, there are immune response in our body. I hope everyone is aware of the fact that there is something called as immunity in the body. In that act of immunity, what our body does is that it attacks foreign cells or many foreign agents like bacteria and viruses, right? And this activity of immunity, it is very beneficial for our body. Now, please understand, these autoimmune cells, if not stopped at the right point, they will end up harming the healthy tissues of the body, damaging the healthy organs as well. So there has to be a switch somewhere in the immunity process itself, where these immune cells, these immunity building cells, they stop at the point of eliminating only the foreign bodies in our body. Right? I hope everything is clear about this topic. Please understand. There has to be a switch, and this switch is regulated by the presence of T cells. Right? This is the work for which they have been awarded Nobel Prize. Now let us look at some of the applications of this. Discovery. Please understand, this application can be used in the cure for cancer. I hope everyone is aware that cancer, what is cancer? Cancer is nothing but the fact that growth just for the sake of growth. The cells, they multiply without any inhibition to its growth. That is what this cancer is. This growth, extra growth of cells will lead to tumor. And in order to reduce this tumor, there has to be an immune response from the body. And this particular research focuses on this immune response to cure cancer. This is application number 1. Let us look at the application number 2. Application number 2 is about transplanting organs in our body. Transplanting the organs in our body. Please understand, whenever there is an organ transplant, say for example, I am giving an organ from my body to you. Please understand, the immune cells in your body won't accept that organ immediately. Is that understood? They will start attacking that healthy organ and they will destroy it regularly. So this has been found. This has been found to be a challenge when it comes to transplanting the organs in the body. Now this research of T cells can be used in transplanting to reduce the immune response of the body in case of transplantation of organs. This is where its importance comes forth, right? So these are some of the important applications. There is also another application related to autoimmune disease itself. It helps us in understanding how autoimmune diseases come and the ways to tackle these diseases. Say for example, recently in the month of February, June, there was an outbreak of Guillain-Barré syndrome, especially in the region of Pune. Now this Guillain-Barré syndrome is a kind of an autoimmune disease where the body will start attacking its own nervous system, right? Many people in the city of Pune, they were exposed to this particular syndrome. Now, in order to understand about these diseases as well as the ways to tackle these diseases, this research of T cells is of utmost importance. So these are some of the applications related to the research which has been awarded with the Nobel Prize for Medicine this year. I hope everything is clear about this topic. Let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about Nobels for Physics. Nobel for Physics. Please understand, this year's winners are John Clark, then John Martins, and Michel Debreu. Please understand, these three individuals have been awarded this year's Nobel Prize for Physics, and that award has been given for their specific work in the field of quantum technology. Specifically in quantum technology, they have worked for their research for the phenomenon of tunneling and also quantum states. Their research with respect to quantum states. These are the two researches which these three individuals had participated in, and that particular research this year has been awarded a Nobel Prize for Physics. Now let us first try and understand what this tunneling is. Please understand, in classical physics, say for example, if there are two superconductors placed over here and there is a membrane, and this membrane, let us call this as Josephson junction. Let us call this as Josephson junction. Now, according to classical physics, please understand, the presence of the superconductors over here at a normal room temperature and with the presence of Josephson section, it is believed that there won't be flow of any voltage in the junction itself. But however, please understand, this flow of junction automatically changes when this entire junction is placed under a cryogenic state. When I use the word cryogenic state, please understand, this state is related to sub-zero temperatures. And in the sub-zero temperatures, when there is a reduction of temperature in this particular setup, it has been found that there is a flow of voltage in this particular conductor. Right? I hope you are getting the point. So this particular effect is called as tunneling effect. Now please understand, this tunneling effect is observed only at the microscopic level. Till now, it was only observed at the microscopic level. But the discovery, the invention, the experiments conducted by these three individuals have made it possible, that this tunneling effect is now available at the macroscopic level as well. This tunneling effect has a lot of applications. Like they can be used in having a quantum computer ready. They can be used in building quantum computers. Tunneling effect, please understand this tunneling effect. If I want to explore this topic in a much more deeper way, please understand, consider a cricket ball, right? Whenever a cricket ball is pitched on a pitch, what will happen? It will reach the ground and then it will bounce and move further. This was observed in classical physics. But please understand, in quantum physics, at a microscopic level, these particular phenomena, these particular microscopic particles like electrons, protons, they behave in a strange way. Say, for example, replace that leather ball with an electron, and if that electron is thrown on the pitch, it won't bounce as a regular ball. However, it has been observed that in the quantum realm, the electron will bypass the pitch and will reach the other side of the pitch, and this was generally observed in the quantum field, right? So this particular tunneling effect is what is that? It is just that. It is the expression of quantum realm. And this particular experiment has made it possible, that whatever has been observed at quantum realm will also be observed at the macroscopic level. This is about the tunneling effect. Since everything is clear about tunneling effect, let us talk about quantum state. When I use the word quantum state, please understand, you'll have to understand what classical physics says about it. In classical physics, it is possible to have a lot many values between 0 and 1. Say, for example, between 0 and 1, there are many values like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, right, 0.4 till infinity. There are n number of values between these two particular states. But however, please understand, in quantum physics or in quantum realm, in quantum physics, there is no such thing as 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. There is no possibility of having these states. It has either, it should either be 0 or it should be 1. Either there is no in between these numbers. You'll have to understand that, right? After 1, there is no 1.1. There is directly a state which represents the realm of 2. This is what is understood by quantum state. Now, the individuals have worked a lot on these experiments and they have come out with drastic results which represent both the effect of tunneling as well as quantum states. Now, these researches and has been the reason why they have been awarded with the Nobel Prize for Physics. I hope everything is clear about this topic. Let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about Nobels for Chemistry. This year's Nobel for Chemistry has been awarded to Kitagawa. He is a Japanese individual, Japanese scientist. After Kitagawa, it has been awarded. Along with Kitagawa, it has been awarded to Richard Robson. Right? So there are 3 individuals who have been awarded this award with, right? Kitagawa, Robson. There is another individual who has been awarded this award. Now, their work is dedicated to metal organic frameworks. Please understand this metal organic framework. Their study on in the field of metal and organic frameworks has been awarded this year's chemistry Nobel Prize. Now, what is this metal organic framework? Please understand, in this metal organic framework, what these individual scientists have done is that they have taken a metal ion They have taken a metal ion and they have combined it with organic compounds. They have combined it with organic compounds. When both these forms of matter, when they were combined, it was found that they formed a structure. They formed a structure which resembled a net or a mesh. And these meshes have a lot of applications in various fields. Like, say for example, these net and mesh can be used to reduce pollution. Say for example, that particular net or mesh will form in such a way that the carbon atoms or ions can be trapped in these particular net, right? That is application number 1. Let us look at application number 2. It has also been found that this network of metal and ions can also trap oxygen as well as can extract water as well from various chemical compounds. Say for example, if there is a seawater, or seawater as we all know is saline in nature. So if this metal and organic framework is dipped into the seawater, this particular mesh, what it does is that it separates salt from fresh water, and that will give us fresh water from the sea, seawater. So these are various applications for which this year's Nobel Prize for Chemistry has been awarded. I hope everything is clear about this particular topic. Let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about Nobel Prize for Literature. This year's Nobel Prize for Literature has been awarded to Laszlo Krasna, right? This individual has been awarded this year's Nobel Prize. Now, why specifically has this individual been awarded? Please understand, in the world today, there are two great wars presently going on. The first one is Israel and Philistine war, and the other one is Russia and Ukraine war. So, all these particular wars, they have created a lot of unease among the people of the world, right? So, in order to bring out the realities of the war, this particular literature or this particular individual, this particular writer has written works related to apocalypse. When I use the word apocalypse, please understand this word is biblical in origin. Now what this word says is that this is nothing but the end of the world. What this word denotes is that it is the end of the world. And this particular writer, his works have specifically focused on war and its aftermath. His works, they reveal the nature of apocalypse in themselves. And in order to make the entire humanity aware of the consequences of the war, his work has been awarded this year's Nobel Literature, right? Specifically, there are some important works like Satan Tango, and War is War. These are some of his famous works which have been recognized by the Nobel Committee and has been awarded this year's Nobel Prize for Literature. He is also known as Master of Apocalypse. As in, all his works, they specifically talk about war and its consequences. And since it talks about war and its consequences, we as humanity, we as human beings, we should stay away from wars as such. That has been the topic or the underlying theme of his works. I hope everything is clear about this topic. Let us go to the next topic. The next topic is about Nobel Prize for Peace. Right? This year's Nobel Prize for Peace has been awarded to Maria Corina Machado. Maria Corina Machado. Now this individual here was also the candidate of opposition for the presidential elections in the country of Venezuela. However, she was barred from competing in the presidential elections which were held in 2024. And please understand, why has she been awarded this year's peace? That is specifically related to her fight to bring her peaceful fight, not as in not violent fight, but a peaceful and non-violent fight to bring democracy in the country of Venezuela. She has also built an organization called as Sumate. And this particular organization, what it focuses on having free and fair elections. And it also promotes electoral democracy in the country of Venezuela. Right? So these are her works, and in order to honor Maria Corina Machado for her fight in the country of Venezuela for the establishment of democracy, this year's Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to her. Many people were of the opinion that this year's Nobel Peace Prize would have been awarded to President Donald Trump. But however, that was not true. There were a lot of rumors running around that. However, trumping all these rumors, this year's Nobel Peace Prize has been awarded to this individual called as Maria Corina Machado. I hope everything is clear about this topic. This brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much for being a part of this session. Thank you so much for being a part of Classic Education.